Welcome back to Good Goal or Bad Defending, where my boominess tries to use computer software to tell you was it a good goal or bad defending. Shocking, normally it's bad defending. Let's have a little look here at the Spurs and see what goes on. Well, that's not bad so far. Is it good defending though? Let's have a little look. There's a little gap. If we notice right here, there's a bit of a space here. Don't know if anyone notices it, because he didn't, and he didn't. If you look at this guy's body language, right, let's just have a look, get rid of that stuff. Look at what he's doing. He's actually stood still, the old deer in the headlights. But who's he looking at? Well, he's looking at this guy. What should he be doing? Closing this space here. That's the space he should really be closing, but he hasn't. Okay, so let's have a little look, see what goes on. Well, it was a good goal, but it's also awful defending. That massive space that we just showed, and that guy didn't step into it. Well, you can clearly see what happens when you don't. Is Song a great striker? Yes. Is that a great strike? Yes. Is it a good goal? Yeah. But it's also terrible defending. That space should have been closed down. The one we identified right here, that space should have been shut down way before Song did anything. And if it had, and actually, if you look a little bit closer, this midfielder here, he really should be coming in and helping here. There should be no space here on the ball. But you can tell by their body language, look, they're not moving quick enough. They're not actually, trying to pressure the ball in any way. They're just kind of watching, hoping that the guy on the ball does something wrong or the other defender does something. And as you can see, how quickly that this escalates into a problem. Let's see if we can play a little bit. Boom, boom, boom. Look at this guy again. Look. Look at his body shape. He was here. He's come to here, and he probably could have got to here. But I don't know what he's doing. He is not trying to put any pressure on the ball. And the problem is you have to. The reason why this guy has to put pressure on the ball is because of the spacing behind him. He has to try to make a weird curved run. See if I can get rid of that and draw it a little bit better for you. A weird curved run to try to do that. And he's got to try to get there as fast as he can. If he does a flat straight run here, he can just easily be bypassed. So he's got to try to go back, get back goal side, and then put pressure on. He does none of that. He just kind of stands and watches. It's terrible, to be honest. And then Song does what Song does. Smashes the ball in the goal fantastically. That's really well done. Let's have a look at the next one, see what's going on. Here we go. We're looking at the next ball. It's a terrible pass out from the back. Goes straight into the midfield. Again, is this bad defending? Yeah, actually it is, because there's much easier pass to play than this one. Look at the player that, well, you can't really see it from the angles that they give you, but it's a terrible pass into a player that's got one in front, one behind. When you've actually ever tried to mark someone from goal kicks or throw-ins especially, or corners, as a defensive team, one in front and one behind is one of the most basic things you can ever do. It's almost impossible to pass the ball to them. And that's what's happened here in the centre midfield. So let's see how they capitalise on it and what they do. Okay. Let's have a little look. He's tracking the run. He is tracking this guy's run. He is getting him back on there. He's watching the ball again, and he's not watching. Well, should he be? Yeah, probably, because the ball's right there. That's probably not bad. This guy's watching the ball too. Go past him. Look at him. He's having a little chin on it. This guy really can't do anything. He's irrelevant. He really can't do anything now because it's irrelevant. He had his opportunity to try to put something on here, and he didn't. Let's have a little look back at that and see what we've got. Actually, this might be a better angle. And here's the problem. When that ball's played into midfield from this guy, right, he was played into here, and they lost the ball, and then they started this counter-attack. What happened was this guy was here, up top here, he was nice and wide, which he probably should have been, because they were trying to pass the ball out of the defence. The problem is this guy here. Okay, if this guy's already gone, this guy's already staying back and this guy's already gone, they're basically both not doing the same thing. They either both have to go or both have to stay. And they've done neither. One's gone, one stayed. So all of a sudden, they're in this transition period where there's this space in behind one of them, which is right here. And this guy's going, This guy, because he's already moved forward with that bad ball going forward, so generally what he was thinking, this guy was thinking, I'll tell you right now, this defender's played the ball forward, they've stepped in the lineup, because they've made a bad ball, they're going to shut that space down and keep the pressure on. The guy who played the bad ball didn't. One of the main things when you're looking at breaking down how people have scored on you or what goals have been scored on you, I call it the rule of three. There's three things that have normally gone wrong before you get to that crucial moment where you go, oh, right, that's the reason why. No. The first one was the bad ball in. That's reason number one. Second, reason number two, this guy, after playing the bad ball and all the other defenders have stepped up, he stays back and makes a picnic. That's two. But what everyone will blame is the third reason, because that's the one they see closest to the goal scoring opportunity or the goal opportunity, right? So here we go. Everyone's going to blame that this guy here doesn't get tracked on his run, I bet you. All right, this guy here is going to look like he is completely free in the box because of all these other mistakes. So let's have a look and see what happens. He's actually free in the box. Okay, so the reason he's free in the box is because of the other two mistakes. So everyone will blame this little runner here. Actually, it depends on which team it is. This midfielder or this right back here, and blame these two defenders and say, oh, well, they didn't track him properly. None of them did their, ran back and dealt with the threat properly. They couldn't because of the other two mistakes were so important. But this is the one that gets highlighted here. And this is what I call bad coaching. Is it bad defending? Yeah, it is. But it was bad defending up here, not actually at this point here. This goal goes in, I think. Does it go in? Yes, find it. Yes, and it goes in. Now, they do have a little bit of a chin wag on VAR and find out, yeah, he was onside. No, they think it was a handball, I think, but I'm not going to try to play that clip. There, you saw they try to claim it's handball. It's not. So let's go on to the next goal and see what we can find. Actually, I was completely wrong. VAR stroked that one off, but I'm not really trying to do VAR decisions on this channel. I'm actually going to set up a on this series, but I am on this channel. I am going to do a whole series on VAR decisions and right or wrong, why they're getting them right and wrong, and what it's about. But I'm not really doing that on good goal or bad defending. So let's get on to the next goal. See what happens. Well, if he scores this, I think you all know what it is, because this guy here is completely and utterly unmarked. There's no one anywhere near him. I'm a big advocate for always having people on the posts. Now, I get why they don't do it in the Premier League. I understand it. I just don't agree with it. And the reason I don't agree with it is because what they're looking to do is not only about this phase of play, the next phase of play on their transition when they're trying to attack down the other end. How many players can they keep further up? It's easier um, in the way that they do their zonal marking and the way that they do their man marking. I get it, but look. I'm old school. I prefer it because you don't let little simple things like this happen. Let's have a look, see what happens. And it's in the goal. Man on the post might not have actually made any difference here whatsoever, but I still would have stuck to it. I still would have had a man on the post. And yeah, it's just bad defending. No one's marking the big man on the back. Here we go. We can see the big man here. Here he is, number 5, man alive. He's right here. I think he makes a run round here. This is the guy marking him. Look at his eyes. You can see he's supposed to be marking him, right? You can see that's what he's supposed to be doing. Let's have a little look and see what happens as he plays the ball. Oh, he's disinterested. Look, he's completely disinterested. He turns and goes, oh, I've got a guy. Don't worry. I've got a guy now. Yeah, because this other wee chap does want a little basketball block on him and holds him. And this guy just switches off because he wasn't marking him. This guy here was marking him over here. And because he's been blocked off, he's completely forgotten his role and responsibility. Mate, I'd kick you out of my team so fast. You're doing a great job as well, by the way. Oh, and so are you, because you're marking, oh yeah, no one. And you're on the front post marking him on the front post. He's marking him on the front post. Brilliant job, lads. Brilliant. Yeah, it's just awful defending. And let's have a little look. In slow motion as it is. Oh, can I speed this back up? How have I screwed this up? Okay, let's have a little look, see if I fix this. Yeah, that's just terrible. That is absolutely terrible. He's run what, 8, 10 yards in the box. His marker just completely ignored him, got caught up in some other drama, and forgot about his job. Yeah, that's just terrible. Let's have a look and see if we can get one last goal. Okay, so here we are in a build-up play. There's a loose pass been played by this little wee man here. Not sure what this little chappie's name is, but terrible at football should be his pronouns. And he's whacked the ball down this way. Again, it's one of those passes that you just are not happy with. You're not sure why he's done it, but he's done it. And let's have a little look. Turns out it's a decent pass. Straight into this guy. He's got all the options in the world. He's got loads of decisions to make. So one of the biggest things I'll say when someone's in this situation, right, is stop the ball. Take a touch, right? Here you can do multiple things. Like I see a lot of players, they'll try to play the ball in there or they'll play the ball in there on the half turn, right? And you'll see players that are world class get away with that all the time. But you'll see players that just a little bit level, lower below that in the second half, like it is here, a little bit tired, and then they make mistakes because they don't take the touch and then make the solid pass. They try something. And guess what this guy does? Try something stupid. He tries something stupid straight away. He didn't stop the ball and do something simple and keep the ball going. So actually, the other guy running onto the ball who's actually got it didn't even know it was happening. Look, if you watch what's happening here, he doesn't even know it was happening. He just ends up with it at his feet. He's not even sure what's going on. And now what he's done is the defender that did play a good ball out of the back. You've got a midfielder now who's out of position. He's panicking. This guy's out of the game. This guy's out of the game. And this guy's out of the game. And there's a massive space there. Massive space there. Because somebody wanted to be clever on the ball and do a little flicky trick muck. Didn't work out, buddy. Let's find out what happens. So when it goes through that guy's legs, let's just go back here a bit. Okay, so we're looking here. Defensive shape. I cannot stand it when people do this. When their shoulders are square and they're always open to the nutmeg. There's two things. They're not pushing the ball in a certain way. So what that would mean, pushing the ball a certain way would mean his body stance would be like this, and he's pushing him to the inside, or it's like that, and he's going to the outside. He's not doing anything, so he's square on. When he's square on, and he's got that much space behind him, he's in all sorts of trouble. And that's what ends up happening here. Because he's square on, his body shape is wrong, he's getting punished really quick. Remember that midfielder that I said that was out of the equation? Here he is, right here. Here he is, right here. There's a player that gave up the ball. He's trying to get back in, but he's irrelevant. That's the other player that's out of the equation that I said. And this is the defender that he actually made a good pass coming out the back. First off, I didn't think so, but he ended up playing an all right pass. This Muppet just screwed it up. And let's play it forward and see what happens. Everybody panics. You can see everybody panics. Actually, there's there's another problem right here. Didn't see this. So this little muck chappy here. Remember that midfielder that I pointed out that said that was taken out of the game, right? Remember that guy? Here he is. If he ran as hard as these two players here, the one that made the mistake and the other one trying to get back in, he'd be here. He'd cut this ball out. He'd be right here in this space. That's where he'd be. But he gave up. This guy gave up. He assumed that there's 1, 2, 3, 4 players would be okay to deal with that. And the reason why these two, I'll go back to the thing that I'm going to say a million times. There's only one ball. So you need one person to go their hardest on it. When it gets to the point where this guy is pressuring as hard as it can, this guy needs to slow his run down just a little bit. And he even might have taken that ball out. You can't have both of you pressuring at full speed because you both are doing the same job and you both get taken out with the pass. And then this is what happens. Inevitable goal. Oh, look. And that guy still walking back right here. So let's think about it. The flick, that was one mistake. Number two, both guys going back for the same ball and not pressuring the same ball just as hard, and one of them not staggering their run. So when the one guy is pressuring really hard and he realizes it, the other guy can step back a little bit. That's two, but this is three. There he is, right there. And he might be number 1, 2, and he might be number 2 as well. That's the problem right there. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on another episode of Good Goal or Bad Defending.